And we are LIVE. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 843. Today is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish, in today's top stories, Bitcoin hits new all-time high in Turkey as fiat currency Lira goes into free fall. Citigroup appoints, I don't know why I said anoints. Citigroup appoints head of digital assets and crypto hiring spree. Rams player Odell Beckham Jr. will accept NFL salary in Bitcoin, and SandBox token Sand rallies 260% in November ahead of play to earn metaverse launch. But first and foremost, what is going on with those prices?
Oh, yeah. So let's take a look at our prices for today. Bitcoin at $56,754, down 2.6%. Ethereum at $4,207 is down 0.95%. Binance Coin sitting at $592.47 is up 2.4%. Solana coming in at number 5 is $215, down 2.8%. Cardano at 178 is down 1.6% today. XRP at 105 is down 1.2%. Polkadot at $40.21 is down 0.72%. And last but not least, rounding out our top 10 is Dogecoin at 23 cents, up 2.8%. And of course, a lot of the activity in altcoin market is pushing towards the metaverse, as well as any token that is attached to it. So if you have a metaverse project or if you have a token attached with that, a lot of those altcoin projects are flying while a lot of the other ones are dying. So you probably want to shift your strategy if you haven't gotten to it yet.
I will also say it was pretty interesting to see, like, not saying it, I mean, it had hype, not the way we're seeing it now, but literally, like, this is what's wrong with the market. No one got hyped about the metaverse until Facebook said something. Like, you all can't wait to do a backward walk through a cornfield of centralization, can you? I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like how, I mean, we were talking about Mana and Decentraland back on our Sunday series. It was earlier this year.
We mentioned it a few years ago when it first came out.
Yeah, but again, I'm excited to see the fervor in it. It looks like the metaverse will be the new thing. Of course, we just saw NFTs, and we're still in the NFT craze. Metaverse is going to be the craze, people, because it's already going crazy. People going crazy now, and it's not even mainstream. Like, the majority of the population don't know what the metaverse is. We haven't got knee deep into it. And with all that being said, I'm glad you mentioned that. Hey, if you're looking at metaverse tokens, or maybe the play to go to for those interested in doing any type of diversification. Of course, this is an investment advice, but I say that because as Bitcoin sits at 5660K, again, we always say you all want to definitely accumulate more Bitcoin. If you're buying into altcoins, it's to get more Bitcoin. These are actually the times to do it. If you do have that discretionary income or whatever, this is the time to jump on some of these metaverses plays. And I wouldn't do any of them at the all-time high right now. I would start watching these projects, but this may be an opportunity before some of these projects become mainstream and become bigger. You all can get some of that hard-earned Bitcoin that you feel have been lost away and never been able to recover or ever able to be bought in the first place. This is your opportunity to do it here. Some quick shout outs. I want to give some shout outs to everybody. I see we got 66 viewers and 60 likes. That's what we like to see. What's going on? Law Thorne, Guy Remy, Chappie, Dana Dane, Wendy Nichols, Jason Harvey, Roy the 5-5, Ali Pio, Tiahana Mayo, Patrick, Ron O, Eric, Coop DeVille, Finn, Sergeant Crypto, Satoshi Slim. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. There we go. Zay, dope flash sale last night. You had a flash sale?
Oh, yeah, flash sale. $10 for books. It went great. Basically sold 75% of the supply in a matter of 4 hours. So thank you to everybody for the support. Great gift. Pre-Black Friday, because I already know the Black Friday deal is going to come flooding in. I got my shit out the way early. So, shout out to everybody.
So what you're really saying is you stay at that strip club longer than what you thought the other night.
Y'all got me an extra couple hours.
Budget went over. I need that right back.
Hell yeah. Give me some extra wings at the strip club, baby.
Lemon pepper Lou over here. All right, top story of the day. You know, since we're talking Bitcoin and prices, got to jump into this. Bitcoin hits a new all-time high in Turkey as fiat currency Lira goes into free fall. Of course, if you don't already know, this will answer, I'm sure, someone's question. Hey, Bitcoin's at all-time high in Turkey. Can I get some? Yes, it's called arbitrage opportunity. Some people actually do it, and it's a very good market. The only issue is that it is very difficult to do as governments around the world don't want you to definitely do any type of arbitrage, especially against cryptocurrency. But this is one of those opportunities. Turkish Bitcoin holders avoided an accelerating currency collapse as the lira loses 15% against the US dollar in a single day. For those who are saying, are people here for the money or the technology? This is why the actual technology is worth money. A little bit of both, right? It says here, Bitcoin has frustrated investors with this recent price correction, but in one country, Bitcoin holders had never been more relieved. Market data from TradingView on November 23rd confirmed that Bitcoin has hit new all-time highs against the Turkish lira. Turkey is unofficially battling a currency crisis as President Recep Tayyip Erdogan pushes to keep interest rates low. The result has been the de facto collapse of the lira exchange rate, with USD TRY gaining 14% on Tuesday alone to pass 13% for the first time. So you're talking about inflation. I mean, that is just like hyperinflation happening to you in real time. But again, Turks, as they witness their purchasing power decline in real time, those with the Bitcoin allocation can arguably see the benefits of hard money more clearly than ever, as again, the BTC/TRY pair reached 723,329 Turkish lira on Binance Tuesday, the latest in the series of all-time highs, which has come almost nonstop. Bitcoin, this is something that we've been talking about for forever, and we're seeing it again happen in real time. We kind of saw it happen in Venezuela already, but now we're seeing it happen in Turkey. And I think this is even more of a use case in Venezuela. We knew Venezuela had issues in general. Turkey was seen more as a stable country, as a country with stability. Of course, we know the U.S. and Russia is going on through there for some other stuff that's happening in the background. But what does this prove? I mean, of course, it shows what we already know, but what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, yeah, all it proves is what we've been saying for years now, is that central banks have been killing these economies with their money debasement, as well as the fact that everybody has a plan B now, and that's Bitcoin. And as we see more countries fall into hyperinflation, see the value of their money decrease in real time. Like here, we got a report of inflation at 6.2%, right? You're losing about 1% every 30 days based on that. Imagine losing about 1% every 30 minutes, or losing or losing 10% of the value of your dollar, or your purchasing power increasing or purchasing power decreasing over the course of a couple of days. When you see that, Bitcoin becomes an obvious choice as an alternative. And I love this quote here that says, central banks are just Bitcoin marketing departments. That is from analyst Lex Moskowski, which he reacted as events unfolded. And he's right. Every time the banks either print money or there's a failure in somebody's fiat currency, that is a big marketing tool for Bitcoin. Because if people didn't have Bitcoin right now, I believe all hope will be lost. Most people will be depressed. They would have picked up guns already. I just think Bitcoin gives them a chance to reverse that damage. And we have the ability to have peaceful protests and get these bankers out of here. Unfortunately, right here, the exchange sector has faced difficulties under their president, who declared war against cryptocurrencies in September.
War,
huh? Time to become an ally, my boy.
Hey, well, the problem is you just started your war, homie. We've been at war.
Yeah, we've been at war. You just joined it late, man. You came in the back with a drummer boy. We already been in formation. So join the party, have fun, changing the country, because I can guarantee you right now, a lot of these presidents, they're looking at Bitcoin seriously once something happens. That's why I said we don't want everything to collapse, but most of them won't look until it's too late, and they're usually living pretty good anyway, so they don't feel like they need it, but the people do. So hopefully Turkey can get more exchanges, can proliferate Bitcoin throughout, but this is going to happen everywhere, people. Every country that's bullshitting, they're going to have to get on Bitcoin at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Paris said, how is their entire country not on fire after this? That's true.
That's what you think.
Yeah. VB comic book drop in 30 minutes for sure. I don't know. It's crazy seeing that. And again, they're doing this whole thing where they're declaring war on Bitcoin. Like we said, the war has been ongoing, but the war has also been over. Like, these are literally just the battles, as we always say. But again, this was crazy about it. Instead of actually trying to fix their economy, instead of trying to fix things and look at new technology and say, this actually may be the future of our country, of citizens' way out of debt and all this other stuff. Instead, they say, nah, we declare war on it. If that's not a bank talking, that I don't know what it is. It's unfortunate he looks at it that way. But again, as you said, the flipping is happening. Either the president gets with it, or their time will eventually come. They won't be the president anymore, because like you said, 13%, 14%, Think about losing 1% every 30 minutes. That is like ridiculous when you really think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy inflation. I mean, that's not the only country. So as more countries do this, 5, 10, 15, 20 countries start doing it, everybody's gonna have to bow down at some point.
That's right. Speaking of bowing down, another bank has done it again. Citigroup appoints head of digital assets and crypto hiring spree. That's right. The new head of digital assets at Citi's institutional branch will focus on pursuing connections and investments with clients, startups, and regulators. I love how every time these banks hire someone new, their first thing is, oh, how can we get this going as far as clients, startups, investments, regulators? Like, right? They're doing everything except education. As you can see, they didn't hire somebody with the hopes of training their departments in cryptocurrency or support staff. No, they're not doing none of that. And that's also why they only want accredited investors. They're trying to deal with as many people as possible with the most money as possible so that they can buy Bitcoin and do their fractional reserve banking as they usually do. But again, we're talking about American multinational investment bank Citi, which has announced its appointed Puneet Singh B to lead the digital assets division of its institutional clients group, ICG, starting on December 1st. In addition to appointing him, Citi is hiring 100 additional personnel for its digital assets division. We called it, people. We told y'all when the hiring starts, those who continue to watch shows like this, those who stay educated in the space will have jobs. Life will be better than ever. We're starting to see it now. It's hiring 100 additional personnel for its digital assets division. The move indicates a concerted effort to beef up the financial group's understanding of digital assets. Singhvi was previously the head of blockchain and digital assets in Citi's trading business. So I stand corrected. They actually are going to be hiring him to train up everybody. This is great news, of course, to see. And I expect to see every other bank to fall in line. I mean, literally, they can keep fighting back. They only got a few more months before they say, fuck it, give us y'all master class. We ain't got time to train up everybody at this bank.
Hey, man, hey, I'm with you there because most of these hires, for one thing, I wish I would have got digital assets trademark when we got started because now everybody
called it. I give it to you. Really called that one.
And then on top of that, when I read these articles, one thing you don't see in these bank articles, they never say the word Bitcoin. They use every word except Bitcoin. Every digital assets, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, programmability. They throw out all the buzzwords. They want to work with clients, startups. They never say the word Bitcoin because in actuality, they would basically be supporting their enemy or their competition, which wouldn't work. But if they try to get in a roundabout way, create these digital products for their customers, I'm sure they will get some of that market share. And again, as King said, when they start the hiring process, they're going to need to get people onboarded really quickly or they're going to fall behind either smaller startups or other banks who are ahead of them. And there's nothing banks do more than compete. They do not want to see other banks outdo them and they fall behind. So they're going to compete. They're going to put all this money behind it. It won't do much, in my opinion. I mean, JP Morgan tried with their blockchain. Everybody quit. They shut that down. There was another one, blockchain project. I think it was IBM or somebody shut that down. So every time they do something that's not Bitcoin, it doesn't work because at the end of the day, they have to have control. If they don't have control, they're not even going for it. So all of these employees, all these people working, again, I think it's a waste of time, waste of resources. I think they should just go ahead and say, fuck it. We're going to use all our resources to buy Bitcoin, and we need people that know about Bitcoin. Even though it seems like it's detrimental to our bank, that's the only way you're going to survive in the future. That would be my strategy if I was in there. But Yahoo News actually reported November 6th that financial institutions have increased crypto hires by 40% in the first half of 2021, and they are attracting this niche talent by increasing pay packages by as much as 50%. That's what we're trying to explain to you people. Even if you don't buy Bitcoin, you don't buy cryptos, if you just want a regular job, you need to know about this because they're paying you 50% more. People talk about a wage gap. Nigga, that's the gap right there. That's it. Like, that's all you need to do. If you black and you like, oh, it's a wage gap, we can't catch up with other races. That's it right there. You need to work.
Or any other minority out there.
Any other minority.
Stop victiming it up and jump on this train.
Stop crying. I don't want to hear it because in 5 years, I promise you all them tears. I don't give a fuck. And you got your opportunity right now to not only close the wage gap, but to get involved in the industry that's in demand. That's how you get paid more money. That's how you ultimately can stack more Bitcoin. That's ultimately how you win. So there is a silver lining to these jobs. I say, hey, why not? Go get these jobs. Take all their money, even though you know the shit ain't gonna work. Buy all the Bitcoin and crypto you can, and then win on the back end. So it's good either way for us. And I think these banks, they got to capitulate like everybody else.
And here's a good thing. Let's say this is your first day watching our show. You are still in great shape. Like if you watch a show like this or other shows in the crypto space, or whatever, and to be fair about something, first I want to point something out. When it comes to cryptocurrency information, YouTube is the premier source, people. Like by and large, YouTube is one of the premier sources. I mean, think about markets out there, gold and silver, money markets. What are this? These talks are happening on CNBC, Fox, CNN on a daily basis. There isn't any crypto talks or Bitcoin talks happening anywhere as far as like visually on a daily basis, with the exception of YouTube. That is like the only place I've seen where there are daily daily crypto shows happening. So I say that to say, shout out to the YouTubers first and foremost for having the foresight for this. But even if you're watching today, in another 6 to 8 months, you're still going to know more than the average person that's already working at a bank that doesn't watch any of these things, that don't research any of these things, that don't read any of these things. So I say that to say we hope to have some warriors working at Citibank, working at bank. Like that's what we need. We want one of y'all in the Federal Reserve. Listen, we need these circle text messages coming in at 3 a.m. with information. All right.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, we integrate into all parts of the society. Let's do it.
And shout out to our warriors already, because you remember we do got Tyler. Of course, Tyler was at BRD Wallet. We got warriors at Kraken right now. We have warriors. Let's see. We got warriors in a few different places in the market.
Tony Edwards from Thinking Crypto, good friend. He's at OKCoin. I mean, we got people all over there.
There we go. So we got a few folks. So this is definitely good to see. They're going to continue hiring. Make sure you all continue to educate yourself. And literally in 2 or 3 years, there's no reason why you shouldn't be walking into like a 6-figure job just off the strength of your own knowledge. Like, yeah, bro, I didn't even go to school for this. I've been on YouTube for 2 years and pulled up. They asked me about some Bitcoin question. I answered. They said they paid me 120.
Took a master class, good 2,000 investment, and now I got a $200,000 job. That's all it takes.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is. All right, let's see. Keone Mason, that is true. Next will be the real estate industry, learning they can combine crypto and real estate through the syndication of property through the blockchain. We are doing it for three apartment complexes now. So here's the thing. I think real estate will actually get a little bit more tricky than people think. So right now, as it stands, you can do real estate without a third party just using Bitcoin. The issue is the land it resides on. It's still in somebody's country who still regulate. And then after a while, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, you trying to tell me this deed changed hands and I didn't get my taste? I didn't get this deed changed from hands and I didn't even get to see what it tasted like." Oh, no. So that's my only thing with the real estate market. As successful as it can be in this space, I still think there are going to be a lot of barriers. There will be a lot of barriers and hurdles, only because at the end of the day, it's still real estate. And it's
real estate is slow as hell. You might as well get into digital real estate where there's no barrier.
Don't get Zay started.
There's no property tax. There's nobody that has to sign a check. You don't have to show it to a physical location. You don't have to keep up with the yard. You don't have to pay taxes on it at all. All of that stuff is available with digital real estate. It's much cheaper now, and buying parcels of land will probably be better than physical real estate because it's actually provably scarce versus a fake scarcity that we see in real estate.
You're right, though. I mean, listen, it's funny when I hear you say, but you're right. It's actually like, I mean, if we just look at 2020, 2021 alone, I'm pretty sure we need to have the lady back on. Like, you talking about Bitcoin? Yo, real estate can't even keep up with digital real estate, baby. Like,
get with your own industry first, and then you should come over here.
Mr. Gamble 93 said, "Yo, is college charging crypto classes like over 50K? Not yet, but they will be." And that's our point. It's like they're going to be like, what? People, you've already heard the numbers of how much you get paid if you don't know. Like on average, there is no crypto job out there starting people under six figures, unless you're doing like marketing or something. And then you're still making 40 or 50K for half of these companies. So yeah, if you're going to walk into a job making 200K plus, regardless of your age, you better believe that college degree for that is going to cost like 40 to 50 to 60K just to get the degree for it.
Hey, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even tell you, King, but I got a soft offer for a professor job down here in Florida at FIU.
Look at that, man. He about to, he moving. He told me.
I'm probably not going to take it only because I don't have the time. But the offer that they were showing was about 30% more than most other professors, simply because I'm the only person that knows what I'm talking about in crypto for the most part.
I will say
at that school. So if that's the only person, and then I got to teach the teachers who then have to teach the students, yeah, that's going to be pretty pricey. They paying me more. It actually wasn't enough because I know what it'll do. That wasn't. They gotta come with 7 figures. 6 ain't.
I would say it's worth it for one semester, if that, like one semester every other week, just to say you taught there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was a professor once. Yeah, it was fun. Whatever.
Yeah, I was a professor. Hey, well, shout out to that. That's crazy, bro. Funny as hell. Let's see. I forgot what I was about to say. You just caught me on guard with that, bro. That's crazy. I don't know what. Mr. Gamble said I was watching CNBC, had a story on the crypto classes. Oh, saying that's why he knew that's how much it cost because they were doing a story. Listen, people, I can tell you now, with the exception of unless you're gonna get deep in the technical side of it, talking about Bitcoin architecture and stuff like that. Like, and even if you do get that deep, this is what I'm gonna say. Any curriculum out there that teaches cryptocurrency, they would be a fool not to use our course, at least for the introductory. Hey, you can't even take Bitcoin 2. You can't take Bitcoin Architecture 3 if you ain't even taking the master class in Bitcoin 101. Like, I feel like the master class is the great first base for everybody to kind of stop at. Let's see what else we got. Lennon Ming said, maybe I'm oversimplifying, but why is the US not buying Bitcoin and basing the dollar on Bitcoin like Miami coin? Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say the people who run our money system are
it's very simple, actually.
They're not Americans. The Federal Reserve is a private company run by people who are not Americans. They don't give a shit about America or any other country. It's a business. So US, as you say, why haven't the US bought it? Because we're run by the Federal Reserve. They haven't bought it. So we aren't going to talk about it or buy it. They're only going to do that whenever they can benefit from it. And I think that'll be good as a treasury. But again, that'll open the floodgates so much that too many people will get rich. If tomorrow the Federal Reserve says we're buying Bitcoin bonds or we have a Bitcoin treasury, the price will go so exponential that they will actually enrich millions of people that were never rich before. So on the back end, people will stop listening to them. They'll be like, oh, thanks for buying it. Now we don't have to use your shit. And they will be admitting that they are printing off a shitcoin. So that's why it isn't happening. But there's roundabout ways to get around that. We don't need them to be a part of it. That's the point. Like you said, Miami coin in local cities, you can do it yourself, even yourself individually. That's what being self-sovereign is. Why do you need a government to approve it for you to use it? We don't. So that's a simple answer. Federal Reserve don't want it. They're not American. So why would they give a fuck about America?
And just to piggyback everything you said, 100% quick piggyback is the national security, which they will use it as, which technically speaking it is. Technically, it's one of those things where it's not a national security concern, like freedom isn't one, but it technically is when they don't have control. So that will be the thing. Hey, we can't make people go back to work. We can't make people follow this dumbass law we just invented. Hell, we can't even make people follow the rules more. It turned out this whole group of people over here got over $200 billion in Bitcoin. We can't make them do shit no more. Like, they don't want that. And as Bitcoins, they said he's right. If that private company composed of a lot of people who aren't even American decides to start buying it and using it as a reserve, I mean, add a zero to the price tomorrow. Like that thing is going to jump. So, like, do you understand the entire planet, with the exception of like what, 10 countries, maybe? The entire planet, with the exception of like 10 notable countries, are backed by using the dollar as their reserve currency. They use the dollar they back their currency on the dollar, which is why the Turkish lira, that whole fiasco, they said didn't make sense moving to the dollar. It made sense to move to Bitcoin because they said all moving to the dollar do to slow this thing down instead of just moving to Bitcoin. So I say all that to say, if like Bitcoins, they said the Federal Reserve were to say, yeah, we're gonna do this too, and the entire planet has been using the Federal Reserve as a reserve currency, the US dollar, like it's a zero at the end of that. Aggressively, like it's going to happen. And then again, that's where the crazy part is going to be, the national security, because they don't want to find out Bitcoin Zay and King might be sitting on a bunch of Bitcoin they didn't know about.
Anybody
else
sitting on a bunch of Bitcoin they don't know about, because then how can you enforce any of the laws? Who would listen to them? You'll be slapping them around like the hall monitors they are.
And speaking on sitting on Bitcoin that people might not know about, I actually said that intentionally to talk about Rams player. Oh, my segues are on point, okay? Rams player Odell Beckham Jr. will accept NFL salary in Bitcoin. This is going to be crazy. Reports suggest that the Los Angeles Rams player's total salary for the 2021 season would be worth roughly 75.66 Bitcoin at an average price of $56,103. Now, first and foremost, this is nuts to see 75 Bitcoin is like, I mean, I remember when, yeah, exactly. You get my point.
Man,
there used to be people with 30 Bitcoin, with 10 Bitcoin, with 40 Bitcoin, like regular people. It was regular people with 40 Bitcoin. And now an NFL player gets it. But I say all that to say, kind of with the national security thing, it's going to be very interesting to see. players who already make a lot of money get that money multiply, you know, time and time over again in the crypto market, to the extent where they may have just as much money, if not more, as some of the executives and owners of the team. Like that is going to be crazy when you try to tell a player to shut up and play ball when they're like, no, I'm a part owner of the team. I just happen to play here too because I like the sport. Like, this is crazy. Can you imagine if someone, an all-star player, superstar player like Odell Beckham Jr., takes his salary in Bitcoin for 5 to 7 years? They will literally be in a position to, if it's like 5 of them, 5 players, but yo, this is by this team, y'all.
Yeah. What we doing here? Yeah.
Again, something that I can tell you for a fact, NFL owners, NFL owner, it's the reason why football is like, they keep football players broke. The last thing an NFL owner wants is to see a football player with money, not the money they pay them, but even more money off investments in their own contract. Like that will make an owner sick. But Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver now for, of course, the Los Angeles Rams football team, has said he will be taking all of his $4.25 million National Football League salary in Bitcoin. And the money posted to his Twitter account, Beckham said he will be partnering with Cash App to take his next NFL salary in Bitcoin. National Insider reporter Ian Rappaport said earlier this month that Beckham will be earning a $750,000 base salary on top of a $500,000 signing bonus, in addition to $3 million in other incentives, totaling $4.25 million for the 2021 season. I hate the fact that everybody pocket watches all this money. For those who are ever curious about money, because I know a lot of people are lost because people thought 50 Cent was broke when he went bankrupt. And it's like, no, he's went bankrupt, so he don't got to pay the money.
Exactly. Everything but school loans, boy. Yeah. They ain't got it.
I know people don't know the normal money principles, but I say all that to say, you know, this is LA. So they're saying he's supposed to make 4.25 this season. Like he's literally going to walk home with maybe $1.5 million. Like maybe 1.5, 1.75. Government's going to take 40 to 50% easy. And then agent, manager, they're going to get their 10, 20% right there. Maybe he got a good one. They're only getting off 10% total, but literally like half of that's going to be gone. And again, I see maybe like 2 million left over on that. But that's still pretty fucking impressive to see an NFL player of his stature again taking Bitcoin, that much amount of home in Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh man, love to see it. And of course, we saw the #1 pick for this year's draft, the guy from Clemson. He took his bonus in Bitcoin. Odell Beckham is getting paid in Bitcoin. And there's a bunch of other professional players. Shout out to Sean Koken, my man out in LA as well. He's getting paid in Bitcoin. Russell Okung, he's kicked it all off. So this is becoming more prevalent to the point now with anything else. Once it enters pop culture, once it starts to enter into entertainment and sports, that's when it becomes popular. I'm sure there's some kid whose favorite player is Odell Beckham who's researching Bitcoin right now. There's some 11-year-old who just saw that and was like, what? That's what? And on top of that, Odell Beckham Jr. actually gave away Bitcoin on Cash App yesterday. And I saw a lot of people post that he sent them money on there. Cash App does a great job of promotion for doing that. And again, he also has a crypto punk as well as his image on Twitter. So I believe he's deep in the space, as are others, because as you mentioned, when you talk to NBA players, they make buku money. They make plenty of money because they are the product. You can see their face. They're better to be marketed. And they have a longer life expectancy. But when you talk to NFL players, they're almost like, hold up, there's a way for me to make way more money than I'm making now. And all I have to do is accept it in Bitcoin, or there's a way for me to preserve my wealth better than what I'm getting now. They're going for it at a much higher rate for that reason. They have lower time in the NFL, less money that they make. And if they get injured, they need an asset that they can rely on to actually increase in value over time and not decrease due to inflation in the fiat standard. So shout out to all the NFL players that's doing it. They just need the information. And most of them, they have enough money to get started. They don't have any excuse to not buy any. So why not? And to quote your boy, Trump, what do you have to lose? Odell Beckham.
That was one of the best lines he said. I was telling people, I already people got upset with that line. It was a factual line.
If you're already a millionaire, why wouldn't you take 1 year's salary in Bitcoin? Let's just see what happens, or 2 years, just to see what happens. And if we did calculations on Russell Okung when he started accepting Bitcoin, I believe Bitcoin was at 20,000. I mean, he doubled his own salary just for making a
tripled
change.
At this point.
Tripled at this point. So again, we're not telling people that this isn't. We're not telling people that they shouldn't do it. We're basically saying football players are going to find this out really quick. And I'm sure he's getting a lot of questions in the locker room. Shout out to OBJ.
Shout out to OBJ. So a couple of things. Xavier Hill Good point, and I kind of agree, but here's a pushback. Xavier said he won't get taxed unless he sells his Bitcoin. He can buy NFTs or move his money to cold storage. So, yeah, in principle, yes, I fully agree with you in principle. However, then this is where I had to change my mindset as a participant in this market, as an enthusiast, as an investor, whatever you want to call it, right? I had to change my mindset when it comes to analyzing everything, because I was just thinking from what made sense. To me, Bitcoin makes sense. It should be mainstream. It should only be about 10 coins, and Bitcoin should be the number one, right? But things don't often make sense. Instead, Dogecoin can beat Bitcoin out one day, right? Things don't make sense. I say that
because with Bitcoin one day.
Right. In the state of California, if you think you're going to be in California and not paying them a multi-million-dollar contract because you got some of your money in Bitcoin, I just don't think it's going to go down like that. Not with a person of his, like, maybe it was a lineman or somebody you never really heard of and the story didn't really make headlines. Maybe, but this thing made headlines. California is good. California is good about their money. So all I would say is, I don't know. In principle, in theory, you're correct. If he gets paid in Bitcoin, he doesn't move it, he sends it to an NFT. None of these things should make him have to pay a tax. However, you're dealing with California state, the federal gang. You're dealing with NFL owners. They're not going to lie and be like, hey, we didn't give him $3 million, $2 million this year. No, yeah, we gave him $4 million. I don't know what he did. He didn't give it to y'all. I don't know what he did with it.
I don't know what he did with it. Who you talking to?
My point is, every player has been accounted for by the U.S. government. NFL is one of the largest businesses out there in America. So I don't know. You might be right. I would love to actually talk to one of these players one day and ask, like, are you paying taxes when you get paid in crypto, or how's that working? So maybe we'll definitely ask one day. Keone, there's another one I just saw. Saber Saves, great point. Average player only plays 3 years. They don't pay all of them up front. So with the debasement of the currency, you're only getting a percentage of what you signed for, et cetera. No brainer to set Bitcoin. That's a good point, especially with football. You don't get paid up front. With the debasement of the dollar, you're actually getting paid less than what you signed for. I never even thought about that as well.
Great point. Yeah, by the time you start making the money, inflation then kicked in. It's worth less than we started. Garbage.
Crypto culture, thank you for the tip, Kenzie. As always, local TX is more entertainers, influencers, actors, aka rich folk. Start asking for Bitcoin. Everyone will too. And here, people, if you look at some of our first shows, this was like the biggest issue we pointed out. We kept saying it. We were like, we would make jokes and we'd be like, the issue is we're telling you all this now. Bitcoin at the time, I think when we started doing the live stream, might have been like 1,500, 2,000, whatever. And it's like, yo, we're telling you about this now, but we kept joking, like, we know nobody's going to listen until a celebrity tells you about it. And it kind of happened in 2017 with the ICO phase. You have Mayweather, oh, did you hear Mayweather's talking about an ICO or crypto? Oh, did you hear Jamie Foxx? Oh, did you hear DJ Khaled? And it's like, yo, stop actions that we heard about these people when we're doing this for work every day. Yes, we heard about them. We don't know why you're following their investment moves, but you're right. As more wealthy people start to drift over to crypto, we can expect everyone else to jump on the bandwagon. All right, last but certainly not least, let's talk about SandBox. Token Sand rallies 260% in November ahead of play to earn metaverse launch. What is going on with this SandBox token and this metaverse launch they have going on?
Oh, yeah. So SandBox is looking to launch November 29th. They will be coming out with their metaverse, which we discussed as well. Their play to earn metaverse will allow you to be a fat slob on your couch and still earn money, which is amazing for one of the laziest countries in the world. And because of that, Sand token's price rose to $5.64, swelling 16.25% intraday. However, but month to date, they've gained 260%, and over the last year, 14,700%, with its market cap crossing over 5 billion. And if you are like me and you realize that the metaverse is a multi-trillion-dollar market that is less than about 40 billion, I believe, in the crypto world. I'm not sure with the others, but in the crypto world, it's about 40 billion total. So if we're going to be a multi-trillion-dollar market, that's at least another 50x, 100x from there. And I believe that when they drop their metaverse, a lot of the tokens that people have, they will be able to purchase either players, the NFTs, virtual experiences, whatever. But I think a lot of people that get these tokens for a lot of these projects are going to hold because they don't know where this is going. And I think you can absolutely see the metaverses will grow. If there's one thing that I would say outside of Bitcoin that is pretty much a guarantee, is that metaverses are going to be built, because it doesn't matter if you like it. If kids like it, it's going to get bought. Roblox is a shitty game, but every kid I know plays Roblox or plays video games. So it doesn't matter what we think. is that in the future, these kids are going to much rather be in the metaverse. Schools are going to be in the metaverse. I already been approached about a project about a college in the metaverse. This is coming, people. So all you have to do is look at the different projects. They'll start off with a bunch of them. Everybody will be promising you something, and it'll whittle it down to the actual best projects.
I was waiting for you to finish. I was thinking in my head, how many?
Oh, it's going to be like 100 of them. You got to find the good
one.
How
many rug pool metaverses are we going to see?
Whichever one has actual demand. And in that metaverse, they have scarcity because there's only a certain amount of parcels you can buy. So at first it's going to look, I got to land on this one, this one, this one. And the winner will win. The market will decide. So I'm excited to see it simply because from a technology standpoint, I'm always glad to see something that started out as, we're getting it going. We just starting building Decentraland. Crypto Voxels just got going. And now we have SandBox, and then we'll have plenty more as well. So I will tell you this, though. The first person that creates a mechanism where you can transfer NFTs from one virtual world to the other, they're probably going to be billionaire in less than 6 months. And it's probably going to be a kid that figures it out. Some cross-chain interoperability where I can get my NFTs on.
What is it, bro? Who we need? Let's stop playing. Who we need to hire as a quick developer? What's the project we need to get done?
I'm thinking about that one kid that hacked into his school and nobody could find out for months. He was cutting off the internet whenever he didn't want to go to school for months. And they finally figured it out. The IT people couldn't figure it out. I would have fired that whole IT team. Trash. Young kid, I think he's 12, 13, something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna need to find him. People like that mindset. Right.
I was about to say, it sounds like a great hire to me.
Yeah, it sounds like a great hire to me. Yeah. What you want your bonus to be? We give you 6 figures. It'll be a bigger announcement than Odell Beckham Jr.
Right.
12-year-old hacker signs a $1 million contract to build metaverse cross-chain interoperability. That would be beautiful. Would love to see it.
Let's see what else is going on. I'm looking at some of these comments and I am laughing. Reno Gamble said, call the National Guard to collect the tax money from you, whether it's in Bitcoin, gold, or cash. They're getting it in Cali. Exactly. That's my point. Local TXX California wants their socialism taste. Hey, sad but true. Sad but true. Okay, Xavier said you're right. Maybe Oregon and Texas. He's in California too. Yeah, California gang ain't going for that. But I do agree with you in theory. Like I said, Hood Mistress says sadly California is a rich people's state. SoCal and the tips of the North are for sure. That's for sure. Let's see. Manville Brady said scarcity provides value in the digital world. How in the digital world do you get scarcity with digital real estate? Establishing digital real estate seems limitless. Well, as Bitcoins, they said, and correct me if I'm wrong, once they decide which metaverse or metaverses are the ones we stay on, that's going to be how you kind of get that scarcity in the real estate. But I do get what you're saying. What happens if they build in the metaverse?
Well, that's the thing. They have a set amount of land, a set amount of parcels. They have a schedule for putting it out for each individual project. So again, as it whittles down from 100 projects down to 10, down to 5 of the good ones, that scarcity is already in that different metaverse. So if I'm in Decentraland, it's only a certain amount of land in Decentraland I can get. The only way I can purchase it after a while is to purchase a secondary market from somebody else. So there's plenty of land available right now. The problem is when the scarcity really kicks in, the digital scarcity is based on the protocol. So if they say it's this amount of land, we only put out these amount of parcels per week, you know how much time you have to buy it, and you know how much land you need to buy. So that's when scarcity comes. But again, yeah, anytime something big starts, it's going to be all over the place. We might have 1,000 metaverse projects this time next year, but it'll whittle down over the next few years.
Local TX, I agree. So the problem is content for the metaverse is just going to be companies fighting for eyeballs again. Here's this is one thing I learned in Hollywood early on that I took with me. TV shows, movies, all of that. I was told, hey, you all are actually just the commercial for the entertainment being advertisers. Advertisers and commercials, same thing we've been talking about in the show for like the past month or so. They pay for everything. They pay for TV, YouTube, movies in the movie theaters. Retail, like you and I, we're not paying for this. It's actually the advertisers that are paying for it. The commercials and all that stuff. Those are the people who are selling a product, making billions of dollars from selling their shaving product or selling their book or movie, whatever products they have. They're selling that. And then you see people like us that's creating content. We're actually just a filler for the commercial. So I do agree with you. I don't think that will be a problem, only because anywhere content creators are welcome, content creators kind of flow to, especially newer places where they think they might have the edge on becoming the next big thing. All it's going to take, I think, is for one metaverse to take off. One metaverse to do that concert, to have that class, to do whatever it is in that metaverse. And as that starts to proliferate, I agree with you. I think early on, there'll probably be more companies than content creators at the beginning. but all it takes is literally that one content creator that's doing something that's just like, oh, have you seen this person sing or rap, or this person talk about this, or this person do jokes here? It's literally going to take that one person with information, and I think everybody will start to see the value in that. More content creators will flow over. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I already got our idea ready. Gentlemen of Crypto Awards, baby.
Oh, we in there. Oh, we about to listen. We about to be all up in the metaverse, folks.
Oh yeah, Digital Zay, Digital King. That's what yeah, I hate seeing me in person. Be in the metaverse. I'll see it.
Let's see. Trill Rants Reviews said, what y'all think about them smash and grabs in San Fran? And what would you tell the robbers? I'm assuming saying.
Oh no, what happened?
Because they said California is a rich state. I'm assuming he's saying, what are you telling the smash and grab robbers in San Fran?
What happened? You said it was San Francisco?
Yeah.
It was smash and grab. What, somebody robbed?
It's still a rich state. You know, some say, hey, ain't nothing to smash and grab in Detroit.
Hey, have y'all been to San Francisco? San Francisco is a bunch of rich people on the outskirts, and then a bunch of niggas on heroin downtown. But that's
right. And with that,
dirty as shit downtown. San Francisco is dirty. I don't want to hear it. Stop hyping up San Francisco. It is the West Coast New York. It is dirty.
That's what I'm saying. That's their point, though. That's their point.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm telling other people that haven't been there. Hey, that smash and grab, that's pretty regular in San Francisco. Sounds about right.
Kendra said, can I get a Louis V bag? All right, let's see. Last few comments really quick. Gary Chisholm said, I see it being like the real universe, multi-planets and moons, stars, etc. It could be endless. I mean, it could be. Here's the thing: the only thing we're not capturing yet, or we're not thinking about, is the technology as far as the user interface. The user interface, if that changes, which it sounds like Facebook or Meta and some of these other companies are working on, if it changes to where it's easier and seamless to enter a digital landscape through VR or whatever other mechanism. I saw they got some new gloves or something where they say like everything you do with your hands like interact in the metaverse now or something. Like as this technology comes, people, where you can put on a headset, you know what I'm saying? Say,
yeah, they're playing 2K, crossing niggas in the metaverse.
We're not there yet, and maybe we won't get there in this generation. I grew up playing Wario. You remember that old Wario game with the goggles? They said somebody was going to be in virtual reality. That shit was virtual reality. Yeah, man, I've been waiting on virtual reality since I was like 6 years old, playing Wario in the basement on the east side of Detroit. All right, that's how long I've been waiting for virtual reality.
Remember them glasses where you used to change the pictures in them?
That's my point. It might not happen. It might not happen, right? We might not see in our lifetime, but the way it looks as the technology has been developing, if you look at games and all this, if they can come up with something that's comfortable, that works, that literally immerses you in a digital landscape for hours upon hours without you getting headaches, seizures, and all this other stuff, they come up with technology that works, we could literally see the metaverse like aggressively accelerate in a short amount of time. Because that's what's wrong with it now, to be honest. You talking about what's wrong with it. It was wrong because you got to get on the internet and just click on it. At the end of the day, it's like just clicking on something else. But when they can fully immerse us into it, I think we might be seeing some different things.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, you got any announcements? Bitcoin's
yeah. So I just want to announce. Well, first, make sure you get that masterclass, of course. Also, look out for a very special show. The initials of the show is TBC. I can't give you too much information right now, but just look out for that.
For our show?
No, it's a show. It's 3 hosts. It's very popular, and they had on somebody named Rodney not too long ago.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so just look out for that, bro. All I'm gonna say is I got the call, so just look out for that, and we'll see what happens with that. But other than that, nothing much. Bit Basel's next week here in Miami. Gonna have some fun with all the artists and discussing some NFTs and all that. So, and if you bought the second version of the book, look out for your free NFT that's coming for the wait. Sorry for the wait, of course, legal issues, but you will be getting free NFTs with the book. So look out for that.
Zay said his book's on them ships off the SoCal coast right now.
Man, my books was on the same boat with JP Morgan's Coke, apparently, because they wouldn't let that get released at all.
Satoshi Simpson, I think the metaverse is going to make the next bear market way different than anyone before it. That could be a possibility or possible with the metaverse. And as we continue to diversify in this space, we might not see another bear market if we keep coming up with, because every time we keep coming up with new shit. So who knows? Other thing I would say too about the bear market in general. Hold on, I'm reading these comments. I'm laughing right now. It's hard to read and talk. Other thing I'll say about the bear market is, again, it might not happen the same way because of all the way this market is actually diversifying. But also, if it were to happen, I don't know. I'm losing my thought. I was trying to talk and bring it back, Zay. I lost it.
It's all good. Show about to be over anyway, man. Like I said, appreciate everybody's support for the show. Definitely.
All right, smash that like and share. Make sure you get that masterclass. Again, we will be doing a masterclass discount this week, end of this week and next week for Black Friday and Crypto Tuesday. So make sure you're on the lookout for that. Other than that, smash that like and share. We see y'all tomorrow. And tomorrow will be the last show of this week. Actually, since it's Thanksgiving week, we'll do tomorrow's show. We'll call it a week. So be on the lookout for that. We probably